All right, Jesse on fire. Welcome back to the channel. I wanted to do a live stream this time. I realized I usually don't do this. I'm not sure if I've ever done a live stream after an event, but it seemed like a good one to do it for, so I can interact with everybody in the chat, because first of all, the night was amazing, and I need to talk about Paddy Pimblett. I'm going to talk about the whole card, obviously, but first wait, what? That's entire. I don't know what's going on in the chat. Anyway, but when I woke up this morning, the first thing that I thought of was the Paddy Pimblett fight. Like, if you woke up, or when you woke up, what was the first fight from last night that just popped into your head? You know, because for me it was Paddy 100%. Like, not even close. Like, I just instantly thought about the Paddy fight, and I want to talk about that fight first, obviously, and then we'll talk about Tom Aspinall and Belal beating Leon and all that stuff, and then Mokaev getting fired from the UFC. That's interesting. I mean, he must have been a serious problem behind the scenes to get to be an undefeated Dagestani fighter in his like early 20s, and they're like, yeah, we're done with you, dude. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm serious. You know how much or how many problems that guy must have started for that to happen? Undefeated Dagestani fighter who's 23 years old, and they're like, we're done with you. That's crazy, dude. But yeah, I mean, we'll talk about that, because dude. Anyway, he did some crazy stuff that I do know about. Yeah, I know, not fired, contract expired, but they're like, yeah, we don't want him. Go sign with PFL. That's the same as getting fired, you know? But anyway, so I have to thank the sponsor of this video, Yo Kratom, $60 kilograms. What? $60 kilograms gets you in 2 days. I owe them one more this month, and there you go. It's the best source of kratom on the internet, and I love them. But like, when it comes, okay, so I want to talk about the Paddy fight first, because I listened to a handful of people's commentary this morning. Dude, I never listen. I don't watch people's YouTubes, like similar channels to mine. I don't watch them. I don't watch like any of them. Like, it's not like a thing. It's just, I don't know. I just don't. I watch like all the news stuff, but I watched a couple of them this morning, and people are, in my opinion, like, they're missing a big point to the Paddy fight. And then also everyone missed a huge point to the Paddy submission that I'm going to show you guys. Cause he could have seriously injured Bobby Green, and he chose not to, like 100%. And I'm going to show you an identical finish where the exact same thing happened, and the guy snapped the dude's arm, like snapped it, disjointed his elbow, exactly the same position. Paddy could have done that, and he didn't. So I'll show you that in a second. Thank you for the super chat, Studio Ryan. Do you think they'll find a way to make you no way? God, 0% chance. Dana, if they want to make the UFC woke, they're gonna have to literally kill Dana White first. You know, no chance whatsoever. Okay, so the thank you for the super chat though. Yeah, and with the so with the Paddy fight, what I saw everybody's take was, primarily, a lot of people anyway, were like, what the hell? Like, yeah, great win, but Bobby Green shot a takedown on Paddy Pimblett, which is insane. Like, of course he's going to get caught in something. That's Paddy's world, which is true. But it's like, all right, but why did he shoot the takedown? You know, like, just go one level beyond that. And like, this is what my thing is with this, and with other kind of like analysis that happens a lot of the time, is people think that once you've seen a guy fight in the UFC, that their skill set remains stagnant. And that's not the case. It's just not the case. Like, guys get better at things, and some of them get much better at things. And Paddy's striking, when he came in, you know, he was pretty loose. He got tagged a lot. He wasn't very careful. He didn't really snap his strikes. And what makes him so good at jiu-jitsu, aside from just being vicious at jiu-jitsu, is he's so flexible and he's so loose. And so he can, like, you know, he's just got great body control, and he's like not using any muscles. It's like Any of you guys who do jiu-jitsu, I'm sure you know there's like the two opposite ends, like opposite extremes in jiu-jitsu are like guys that are strong and they stay tight, and they stay tight, and so they're hard to deal with and they wait for mistakes, or guys that are super loose. Like obviously they're a spectrum, but like, and Paddy's like super loose and he catches people with all kinds of stuff. He's amazing. But what I see with Paddy now, and the reason that Bobby shot for that takedown is he's figured out how to use that same trait that he has in jiu-jitsu in his striking. And dude, his leg kicks are nuclear, dude. Like he was smashing Bobby's front leg. That's why Bobby shot 100%. His front leg got damaged by those leg kicks. And then that's why he shot and he got choked. So I don't know. In my opinion, obviously everybody thinks Paddy, did really well at first round stoppage, but I heard a lot of people like, but Bobby Green shot for a takedown. It's like, yeah, that's because Paddy beat him on the feet. Like Paddy beat Bobby Green on the feet, and Bobby shot for a takedown because his leg was about to explode. Do you know what I mean? Like that's what happened. Bottom line, that is what happened. And I don't know, man. You go back and you watch a Tony Ferguson fight. He looked great in the stand-up on against Tony Ferguson. And the thing is that, like, because it was Tony, I don't think people gave him the credit for his striking looking so much better, because he's literally expected to beat Tony everywhere, which he did. But like, I don't know, man. His striking looks way better. I mean, if you watch Paddy's first fight in the UFC and then you watch his striking last night and in the Tony Ferguson fight, he looks completely different in a very, very good way. So congratulations to him. He stole the show. He was literally the first thing that I thought of when I woke up. And then the other thing, like I was saying about the stoppage, check this out. Dude, I got to do my takes first, guy. We're going to get into questions. I got to do the takes first. People are going to watch this later. You know what I mean? People want to hear the takes. Then I'll get into the chats shortly. But yeah, if you want me to answer something now, you can super chat it. But otherwise, I'll start talking to the chat as soon as I'm done talking about this thing that I'm talking about. So it's not disruptive when people watch it later. Okay, so check this out. So what I wanted to show you, about the stoppage is how he could have, for 100% sure, shattered Bobby's arm. Okay, so, well, here you go. Here's Jesse on Fire Instagram. Where is it? Oh, there we go. All right, so watch this, dude. This is the exact same thing that happened. Identical. Exactly the same. About to see the worst late stoppage in the history of combat sport.
Oh, that is oh my God.
Go for that arm.
Oh my God.
Goes unconscious and
oh, he's out. He's out.
He's out.
He's out. He's out. He's out.
Let's watch that. Yeah. It's the worst stoppage, in my opinion, ever. Like that's the worst stoppage I've ever seen. Not just because the guy broke the arm over the elbow, but because even when the guy's clearly unconscious and he snapped that elbow over his leg, the ref still didn't step in. It's insane. You could at least kind of understand that maybe he missed that he went out, because he kind of went to tap and then he stopped. I don't know. I mean, clearly the ref is not like jiu-jitsu heavy, because that triangle was absolutely airtight. Like he was definitely going to go out. And but the guy on his back, he doesn't know that he's out. You know what I mean? That's the reason I don't hammer that fighter about the stoppage is because his positioning was different than Paddy. Like Paddy has Bobby unconscious and he's looking at him. He can see that Bobby's out. The fighter in that late stoppage over there, he can't see. He can't see the guy because the guy's facing away from him. And so, he grabs the arm, breaks it over his leg. And then once the arm's broken and he doesn't react, he's like, okay, this guy's obviously out. He looks at the ref and the ref still doesn't stop the fight. if you watch Paddy's finish, I rewound it twice. Like, he knew Bobby was out, and if he wanted to, he very, very easily could have broken his arm over his leg. And I mean, he could have put it in his armpit and broken it. If he really wanted to be a dick, he could have done it, and he didn't because he knew he was out, which is pretty fucking cool, dude. Pretty cool, in my opinion. So yeah, I don't know. I thought Paddy deserves big ups. That kind of thing is, I don't know, that kind of thing earns big points with me. It's like that guy that what's that guy's name that got kicked out of UFC that used to not let go of heel hooks and would injure guys' knees, like Pujols. That guy is the biggest piece of shit on earth. Like, that guy is just absolute dog shit. He was like a heel hook specialist. Well, he was actually just a jiu-jitsu specialist. But guys would tap, and he would torque on the heel hook anyway and injure them intentionally. And like, that's like the opposite end of the spectrum. Like, that guy, if he was offering me $100, I wouldn't take it. I'd be like, fuck you, guy. Like, me and you aren't friends. That's a bad person. And Paddy like walks it like he talks it. He's clearly like a good dude, man. Good dude. Bobby's in a sling. Well, he could have made it worse, So yeah, like that. I don't know. I like Paddy a lot. He's a stud, man. He did really well. But Tom Aspinall, it's like, dude. Well, here, anybody, if you guys want to talk about the Paddy fight, we can talk now, chat. Yeah, he get like, whoops. Yeah, he get a lot of respect, I think. I mean, yeah, it could have been a lot worse though, dude. He's like, I can look and tell that he's not pulling on it. Like, he's not hipping up. Like, he's not trying to break it because he could have like really fucked it up. See, dude, I don't read Paddy as cocky. That's not how I read his personality personally. Like, he's confident for sure, but you could tell the guy's he's got some depth to him. You know what I mean? He's constantly, bringing attention to like mental health issues and all this stuff, and like his friend that did this and that. Like, I don't know. He's like a brash, loud, humble guy, kind of, Exactly. Yeah. Why is Dana unprofessional? Because so let's talk. Let me actually touch on that Mokaev story real quick. So again, if you get let go by the UFC when you're an undefeated Dagestani fighter who's 23 years old, like I don't think I can exaggerate how big of a thing it is. The fact that he's both undefeated and he is that young. Okay. If you look at the business and the fighters the way the UFC does, and there's absolutely no question that I'm correct about what I am about to lay out, which is these guys are assets that have a limited amount of time that they can provide value to the company. Okay. So when they factor in how valuable a guy is, it's about obviously how marketable they are and how likely they're going to win and so on and so forth, whatever. But age is huge. Age is enormous. Like, how valuable has John Jones been to the UFC versus someone who hits their peak when they're 32? I mean, you've gotten literally like, I don't even know. I honestly don't even know what year John started in, but you're talking years and years and years and years of value out of John Jones. And other guys, I mean, he's like probably the most extreme example, but to fire a guy who's 23 years old and undefeated, who aligns with a big market over there, he must have been a bad boy behind the scenes. That sounded super gay, dude. He must have been a bad boy. But he's like that thing that he pulled with Cape Is he 20? Is he 20? Jeez, man. No, look at that. And I'll do it again, Jake Timms. Yeah, but the story about what he did to Cape with that picture, I don't know if you guys heard about that. But he went and posed. He admitted this in the post-fight press conference that when they were at the PI, him and Cape got into it. Cape elbowed him and he cut him before his Alex Perez fight. And so when they got to the UK, he pretended, like he went to Cape. He's like, let's just take a picture together. He got him to stand next to him. And then when they left, he sucker punched him in the back of the head. And then and I guess Cape got injured. You know, he still fought or whatever. But I'm like, make that make sense make that make sense to me why you thought that was a good idea, you know? Like, I mean, he's 20, I get it. But, bro, you're at Fighter Hotel. Like, you're at Fighter Hotel. You pull that there? Like, there's nobody who thinks that's like a gangster move. You trick a guy into letting his guard down, then you smash him in the back of the head. Everybody thinks that's a bitch ass move. And like, I mean, bottom line, regardless of whether you got, elbowed by him before a fight you're about to fight the guy in a couple days. It's absurd. Brian, thank you very much. Just jumped on. What's up, Brian Chumbler? We need help with the champ with his mic. I mean, listen, dude, like, if you're talking about Belal, I just would say that I thought that he actually handled the UK crowd pretty good, dude. You know, like he knew they were going to be booing him anyway. And so he just, the whole week was just like, oh, boo hoo, wah. You know, like everybody can clean up their mic skills, but I thought strategically he handled it very well. Like you're not going to get anybody to cheer for you there. So just lean into it, man. It doesn't matter whether they love you or hate you, right? If they hate you, that's good. If they love you, that's good. You know what I mean? But I just think like people should practice. Guys that are, prize fighters should practice on the mic. Anyway, thank you for the super chat, good sir. Oh shit, I just realized something. Hang on. Give me 1 second, you guys. I have to do something super quick. Anyway, but with Mokaev, pulling that in Fighter Hotel specifically was potentially the last straw for them. And the reason is, and this is, this shouldn't be complicated, is like at Fighter Hotel, I understand that like you're getting a bunch of pit bulls together and, it's like, oh, of course there are going to be fights at Fighter Hotel. It's like, right. But at the same time, it's the same as like getting in a fight at a work conference, Like it's a little bit more kind of expected that it's going to happen every once in a while if you're the UFC, obviously. But if you've ever I've stayed at Fighter Hotel a bunch of times. It's a super chill, like calm, work-like environment. It's not a bunch of guys throwing bottles at each other and punching each other. Like the UFC is a global multi-billion-dollar corporation. And then they rent out these enormous, hotel. Like they give, how many people they put up at Fighter Hotel every time they come into town. It's a big thing. All their staff, and their reputation is important. And so if they have fighters pulling shit like that at Fighter Hotel, it's it's worse if it's at Fighter Hotel. If they happen at at a taco shop, then the UFC would be less likely to, seriously reprimand a person who was involved in that. But doing it at Fighter Hotel, you're on UFC property. So both of those incidents happened on UFC property. Like it's the Fighter Hotel and the Performance Institute. Both of those fights happened at places that the UFC is on the hook for in one way or another. You know what I mean? But, the idea that they just fired him because he shoots too many takedowns, I don't believe that at all. And that's what Dana said. Dana was like, Dana said there was a lot more to it than that. And dude, so when I first saw this story, that he had been released, I was like, Jesus. Like I thought he released him because of grabbing the shorts. I'm like, geez, it wasn't that bad. I mean, he should have had a point taken away, but it's not that bad. Like, you fire him over that. It's not like he bit the dude. You know what I mean? I mean, that was, if you don't take a point for that, I don't like that. I don't understand that at all. Right? Like, if, you take points when people intentionally break the rules, right? Eye pokes are unintentional. And then so you give them a warning, you maybe give them a second warning, and you're like, dude, you need to keep your fingers up. Then if they poke again, you take a point. If someone grabs the fence, you warn them. But like if someone grabs the fence and a person's just holding on for dear life, just outright cheating, you take the point away. Obviously, dude, there's no scenario in a million years that he did not realize he was grabbing his shorts. You know what I mean? Like 100%. He knew exactly what he was doing and he did it anyway. And he should have gotten a point taken away. 100%. But yeah, exactly. And then it's a draw. It's a different deal. I mean, I don't know how that affects their bonuses and stuff, but man, I wish Cape would have opened up though. He's so fun to watch when he like moves forward and strikes. He's so fast. But anyway, it is what it is. But anyway, so Mokaev's going to PFL, and yeah, I am sure when he gets older, he will have regretted some of his earlier decisions, But so when it comes to the Aspinall fight and the implications with John Jones and all of that stuff, it's like there is no question in my mind who the best heavyweight is. And well, I take that back. I think that Tom Aspinall is the best heavyweight in the world. The only conversation would be with John Jones. And in my opinion, John Jones is not very tested at heavyweight because he fought one guy who is obviously exceptional at one thing, but is very lacking in the way that he lost. And John just took advantage of it instantly. And I don't know. I think the smart money is probably on Tom Aspinall in that fight. I would have said, I don't know, man. I lean heavily towards Tom Aspinall, but I just keep coming back to like, how do you bet against a guy who's never lost? Period. It's not like when you look at guys' strengths and weaknesses when you're handicapping a fight, that's what you do. What are their strengths? What are their weaknesses? Like with Tom Aspinall, his only weakness that I see is, I was saying this last night, he does leave his head in position to where he could get like a heavyweight puncher. Someone could catch him. He moves so fast and he's so dangerous that it's going to take it. I mean, it would take a surgical striker or, a little bit of luck. But where his head's positioned, like if he did get caught, I don't care who they are, like with your head in that position, if they get clipped in the right angle, they're going to go out. But again, he is so dangerous. He's such an incredible finisher that the likelihood that anybody catches him with that seems not super high. What's crazy too about Tom Aspinall that makes him so nasty is, aside from the fact that he's lightning fast, absolutely enormous, has great striking, has incredible ground game, is there's another thing that he's great at, which is his instincts for finishing. Like there are guys, how many times do you see during an event when a guy, hang on for 1 second. Hey guys, if you don't shut your face, shut up. Giselle, get in here. My daughters are screaming at each other. What are you doing?
There's a suitcase.
That
mom told was going to take her stuff out. So just grab the suitcase.
No, I don't care about any of that. I'm talking about why are you screaming outside of my studio?
Genevieve screaming and punching me in the face.
Genevieve punched you in the face.
Me.
Genevieve, are you out of your mind? You understand Giselle could strangle you to death in 1 second. You can't punch her. You can't punch her anyway.
And then?
No, get out of here. You're not on the show, dude. Beat it.
And then she said I hit her phone in the face and I fell. Did you have your phone in your hand? You said hit her in the face.
Okay, she's not allowed to hit you. You're really not allowed to hit her, though. Jesus. You guys should never, ever have your voice at that decibel in the house ever again. Jesus. Anyway, so you have my attention, zero tension. What do you want? Okay. So yeah, he's got that other thing too, which is like instinctually, he knows when guys are hurt and he jumps on them. Like all the time you see in fights where guys clip a guy and they get hurt and then they move forward and they're like, all right, and you're like, why are they letting him get reset? Obviously it's like, wait, I'm sorry. This looks like a bedroom to you. Oh man, sometimes that shit is so funny. This looks like a bedroom. Hey, I just have this shit. I just have this in my bedroom. Like just all, yeah, it's my bedroom. Fucking idiot. Anyway, so that's why sometimes I like to go live because like people are so fucking stupid. It's fun to clown on. Anyway, but Tom Aspinall, like when he gets a guy hurt, he is on him, dude. Like he is on him instantly. And I mean, like, because he just does not let them recover at all. Like that shot that he hit Curtis Blades with, tons of guys, like tons of guys would have kind of, taken their time and Curtis probably would have recovered. But yeah, Aspinall is an absolute mashing finisher, man. He's a killer, dude. He is excellent. He's in the kitchen. No, I am in the studio that I built in my house, which was an enormous office, and I turned it into, actually, I think this was a theater room. I can't remember when I bought the house. I think it was a theater room, and then I turned it into a studio. Anywho, but all right, so so with Belal and Leon, oh, I'm sorry, let me go back. So John Jones, Aspinall, I am actually not that bearish on, well, let me just say that in English. I think it's possible John Jones does fight Aspinall now, because I believe John Jones when he says why he doesn't want to, why he's just like not interested in the fight. He's like, I don't know, man. It's, whatever. It's possible that he's like, oh, it's a really high risk fight. It's possible. He did take his time with Francis. I think he was negotiating with UFC also, but like he said over and over and over, he wants to be afraid of his opponent, like he wants to be afraid of his opponent. That's the juice for him. And dude, Tom Aspinall is very clear. Like Tom Aspinall could end up being the greatest heavyweight ever. Like the guy has already run through the entire division almost, right? If you get Stipe in his prime, that might be a tough matchup for Aspinall. Like that right there. It's funny because everybody's writing Stipe off. They're like, oh, Stipe, he's 46 years old and John, whatever. But that's a tough matchup for Tom Aspinall. That one right there. That's actually the worst heavyweight matchup for him. But again, Stipe's whatever age he is. But I mean, seriously, if Stipe came out and looked incredible and beat John Jones, 100% you're going to get Aspinall versus Stipe. I guarantee Stipe takes that fight. And that is a tough fight in both directions. But I think Stipe probably poses more danger to Aspinall if he still moves like he did when he's in his prime, which is not necessarily likely given that he's 43 or whatever. But yeah. Wait, really? This became that big of a deal? Whether this is a bedroom or not? That's weird, man. Why the fuck would I make that up? That is a really bizarre thing to make up. You guys seen my fucking house? Why would I make that up? Anyway, so on the Leon and Belal fight, like I can't understand how people still do not give Belal any respect at all. He wins, he beats like Leon Edwards, beats Kamaru, obviously, a head kick, and then beats Colby handily. Everyone's like, dude, Leon's nasty, he's whatever. And then Belal beats him, and everyone's like, Jesus, you know what it turned? I heard the Weasel say, here's what we know now. There is no one at 170 that's even moderately close to any of the champions at 55, 45, 35. And I'm like, do we know that? Like, because I've never heard you say that before. The only difference now is that Belal won. It's like the guy has won fucking 10 fights in a row. You know what I mean? 10 fights in a row. It's like, how else are you going to fight Leon Edwards if you're Belal? You know what I mean? Like, if you're Belal, how do you beat Leon Edwards? You're going to stand and wait for him to like surgically get going? You're going to stand and trade with him? Of course, you stand and trade with him. You make him think about strikes, and then you take him down, obviously. And when he gives up his back, you stay on his back. Oh my God, I can't, dude. All caps in the studio thing, you're in timeout, dude. You go in timeout in your bathroom, guy with the bathroom studio. You go sit in your bathroom, and you can think about why you have to sit in timeout now for 5 minutes with your dunce cap on, okay? And I can promise you, if you don't change your approach to life, you will 100% never have a house that you can build a studio in that is not in a bedroom, okay? So change your perspective, dude. This is not doing you any good. 5 minutes, think about it. I just changed your life, dude. I changed your life forever. It's green screen. Dude, it's so funny when I go live, the like weirdest shit becomes the chat focus, dude. Like, that is so funny. It's not a real. I saw someone ask about these earlier. You know how much these were? You know how much these were when they launched? I saw them selling on eBay for like $7,000. I got these for $95 at Walmart. That's a fact. That's a fact. But yeah, like, no, it's not a bathroom. Jesus. The guy kept saying, okay, now I think you guys are trolling me, which is really funny. The guy kept saying the studio's in his bathroom. So I put him on timeout because he was doing it in all caps and it was distracting. But anyway, so Leon just, what's crazy about that, like his whole performance last night and all of it is like, at the end, he flipped Belal and he split his face in half. That was that's such a bad way to end a fight, you know, to win the title, you know, coming out of a situation where you are, you know, like on your back and someone just absolutely mashed your face. Like, those were super heavy elbows he got hit with. And he looked rocked when he got up. Rocked. I don't know. Like, he's like he got up all, and he's like, you know, he knew he won, but like, where was that the whole fight, Leon Edwards? You reverse the position and then smash. Where was that the whole fight? Why do you wait until there's 30 seconds left to throw some super heat into strikes? That's what I don't understand. Is obviously, conserving energy. You have to fight for 25 minutes. You can't just go out and sprint and go crazy. So conserving your energy is very important. But if you're overly conservative in a fight like that, because you don't want to get tired, which I completely understand. A lot of times guys get hammered for, they're just pretty conservative in their fights. And usually if you're like, okay, well, does that guy ever end up super exhausted at the end of the fight? Usually not. Usually not. And I mean, my opinion, they're just being conservative with their energy because being gassed is the worst thing ever. And if your opponent gets gassed and you're still fresh, you're going to win. But in a fight like that, I don't understand. It's like, you're down to 3. Let me think about this. I mean, you're down in the 5th, obviously. But I don't know. Guys fighting too conservative is not good for business, and it's not good for them. It's not good for them. Cape yesterday, if Cape would have opened up, I think he wins that fight. because that guy's defensive jiu-jitsu was phenomenal. You know, you know what he seemed like? Cape seemed like a guy that was real shaky on the ground and was terrified of getting taken down. Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, that's probably why he was so limited in his output, was he didn't want to get taken down. But then when he did get taken down, his jiu-jitsu was amazing and he got back to his feet. He was like phenomenal. And he just didn't, he gave that fight away, in my opinion. Dude, Molly McCann's performance was that girl. When I looked up that other girl's record, I could not believe that what I saw, because in that fight, I had never seen that girl fight, not like knowingly seen that girl fight before. And she was so cold, dude. She was so cold. That might have been the coldest female fight game face I've ever seen. As a matter of fact, I think I am going to just outright say that. Her game face was ridiculous. She just was like an ice cold assassin that entire fight. Like, go back and watch that fight and just look at Brazil's face. And McCann is, you know, Jesus, that is a game ass fighter right there, Molly McCann. But yeah, I was shocked when watching that fight. I went to look up Brazil's record, thinking that, oh, this chick must be like super up and coming. She got knocked out twice in the last like 4 fights. I was like, what? Really? But again, she's probably in that same category as Paddy, where she's getting better, you know? The Olympic drama, I did a stream on it yesterday, and then NBC claimed they copyright blocked it because I used a clip that was 12 seconds long from Twitter. And they copyright blocked it. I got both my last 2 live streams copyright blocked. The UFC, I mean, I'm sure they do it like automated, but I did a stream that had Dana White's announcement and then like the ceremonial weigh-ins, and they put a promo on the ceremonial weigh-ins, and then they copyright blocked my live stream because of the footage that they had in their promotional material that was in the weigh-ins. Like, they have an automated system that does it, but I was like, really? You know, but I have another one on Play with Matches. I absolutely torched the Olympic opening ceremonies in this video. I actually went harder in the Play with Matches one than I did in my live stream. It definitely got demonetized. It's definitely demonetized, but yeah, I torched him. It's this one. It's whoops. It's this one.
From Pierce.
But it would have been just as bad if it was any other
religion. Yeah.
You could pick Scientology, and I would be like, what are you doing? Why would you do that here? Anyway, I don't want to get this one demonetized if I repeat, whatever's in this thing, but this is the channel that me and Gabi do together. I lit up Chris Tyson. I light up Canada. Basically, yeah, it's all stuff like this. It's just different because, like, I do it with Gabrielle. Everyone, like, when they watch the channel, they're like, "You're like, it's nice to see a different side of you." And I watch them. I'm like, I don't understand. Like, this seems the same to me, but it's all good. Why do you think that Jones is done mentally? So I am, but they used to have that plugin that would automatically send your videos over there and they turned it off. I actually just talked to someone at that organization. They wanted, anyway. Yeah, I'm talking to them again. All right, that's probably enough. That's probably enough. Who are you talking? John Jones, 37? Yeah, I mean, he doesn't. But I mean, listen, dude, at the end of the day, let me tell you something else about being 37 is very different perspective from when you're 25. And when you're 37, you've had money for a long time and you're looking at your career. I would imagine that there's much less motivation from whatever used to drive you versus money, money with lowest risk. Because at the end of the day, it is a job. Like, it's your job. And you are going to make significantly more money if you win. Like, not just on the win bonus, but what your next contract is and all that stuff. So like, the common sense way to manage your career is to take the fights that pose the lowest risk. But that's if you're driven purely by financial incentive and your max earnings and just your overall career, versus guys who are like, I want to prove that I'm the number one guy in the world. John's done that through like 2 or 3 generations. Now, so maybe that still drives him, but maybe not, Wanted to ask, do you see my text about the Trump crowd? Nope, I did not. What about it? No, probably not. I mean, maybe, but like, that's a big I can go to shows here and I mean, I would go to an event like, so I was actually going to do so True Jordy was going to have me on the panel for the Saudi Arabia fight that was August June 22nd. June 22nd. Yeah. Like True Jordy has this huge, like big table setup. And I was going to fly to Saudi Arabia to do that one, but it was right dead center of the middle of my family reunion. And so like when we were going through the logistics, it was impossible. It was like, because from the UK, the flight to Saudi Arabia is just a direct flight, like to where you go. From where I was, like you could not get there in less than 26 hours. It's insane. Like there was no, I'm like, because, I was flown in, flown out, but there was just no way to do it. But like for something like that, I would, if I was going to be on his panel or something like that. But just to like go to a show, I wouldn't do it. Only because it makes basically what I would spend on the flight and all that stuff, I could sit, in way better seats in America. You know what I mean? Got your late. Yeah. Yep. I 100%. Wait, hold on. You should come to the UK, get the builders to finish your bathroom, make it look more like a. Oh man, that's funny. Oh, I did see a thing like that, but I didn't look at it because I don't know. That's like that kind of stuff. Assuming that there is a clip floating around that has like a different crowd, I just assume someone else, some other random person, because like, why would they do it? Like, what's the purpose of doing that? I don't put anything by these guys, but I just don't know what their point would be. Anyway, all right, I got to jump. Love you guys. Belal destroyed my. Oh, what's up, Chad? How are you, sir? Yeah, he pulled it off, man. 5-5 parlay, you get paid out pretty good, dude. Appreciate you. Wait, Harris News. Did they announce that? That's not announced, right? Because anyway. All right, guys. I will I'll have plenty of content this week. I'm gonna be in a hotel. We're gonna be at a hotel all week, but I'll be putting out tons of content. So that's what's up. I'll probably do another one later today, maybe tonight. But love you guys. Bye-bye.